What's going on, everybody? Welcome to TLP Live, guys. I go by the name of Harry B. The B means billion. Did Kevin Stefanski just say what I think he just said? Is Coach Prime leaving the Big 12 or leaving Colorado to go to the SEC? You know what? I have an idea. Why don't we just talk about it? Okay? Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. Yeah. So let's talk about those things. I think we'll do college second. We'll do the Cleveland Browns first. We just have to. Because another day, another Shadeur rumor. This is going to have to become a thing now. Another day, another rumor. No, but this time, we got another Coach Prime rumor on top of that. We're going to spend a lot of time on college today, all right? Because this is the morning show. I'm glad I'm able to do the morning show every now and then. You feel me? But we have some things to talk about, okay? It's going to be an hour. We don't have a lot of time. If you are in the area, you want to pull up on your boy, on the kid, join TLP Live at gmail.com. The email is right there. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. Pull up on me. Let's talk about this. You feel me? I hope everybody's good. If you're feeling, you know what I'm saying? If you're feeling a little warm and fuzzy, you want to bless the kid with my Cash App is right there. $ TLP Sports Club. $ TLP Sports Club. You can help me to keep this show free, and I can do it more often. If you enjoyed the conversations, you enjoyed the camaraderie, the clean and respectful environment that we have here on TLP Live. Everywhere else, they're talking stuff, but you just feel like, you know what? Man, every time I go to TLP Sports Club, I enjoy myself. Bless the kid. I can do this a lot more. We can have these conversations, okay? Or you can just do a super chat and drop some dollars on the kid. But we got a few things to talk about. You feel me? We're not going to be here we're not going to be on here too long, but we got to be on here. If you are watching this in the live, I appreciate you, joining the conversation, typing and everything, join the conversation, put your comments in the chat. You feel me? Ask your questions, bring up new topics. If you bring something up and I feel like it's important or something for us to talk about, boom. If you have some news, some breaking news or anything that you heard that I haven't covered yet, you're like, yo, Harry B, have you heard about X, Y, and Z? Bada boom. And my guy Phil So Real, who frequents the show, all right, he had an idea. He wants us to do a mailbag. So here we go. If there are topics, things you want to cover on the show, when I come live, I haven't had a regular schedule yet. I don't have one yet. But when you see me go live, you want me to answer your questions, drop your questions in the comments, not just for the people who are live. If you are watching this on the rebroadcast, also drop your questions. Hey, yo, Harry B, you should tackle this subject. Somebody told me a long time ago, hey, why don't you do a video on the Buffalo Soldiers? I didn't do that video, but I'm talking about like on the lives. You feel me? Like it's a lot of work to do this research, especially if, you know what I'm saying? If you're not dropping in the Cash App and you're not dropping dollars, it's hard to do some of these things y'all are suggesting. But in the mailbag, drop your questions. I promise I'll try my best for us to address those questions on the next live, and I will mention your name that this question came from you. So make sure to either email me. The email's right there. You can email your questions also or your topics. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. I know some of y'all are just listening. You're working out. You're on your way to work or you're driving somewhere and you cannot watch me. You're just listening. JOINTLP Live at gmail.com. Okay? So that's on your screen. So you can email those questions or you can drop them right there in the comments and we will address them. It could be about college football. It could be about the NFL. You feel me? We're now both. So go ahead and do that as we get the show moving. All right, so who is here today? Let me just say salute to whoever's in the comments already. I'm going to start from the top. Q-Dog, what up with you? Ty Smith, what's good with you? Dallas is in the building. Every time you see T.Y. Smith, 20, that's Dallas. Dallas is in the building. Put some respect on Dallas. You heard what I'm saying? Yeah, baby. Anyway, 704 Liquor House Talk. Do you really talk about liquor? Anyway, sipping, what's her name? Brittany, what up? Or 704, what up with you? Hope all is well. Brittany M, what up with you? Common Sense Buff, my guy, my Liberian brother, my picking. What you do? How you doing, son, my man? You're dropping videos again, my man. My man, you dropping videos. I'm proud of you, man. Keep going by. You got 300 plus subscribers. We got to get you there, man. Don't give up, my picking. Don't give up. That Tijado. My people. That Tijado. Okay. That was for all my Liberian folks out there. All my Africans, what up? Okay. D-Cot, what up with you? 504, what up? Harry B. Unspoken Sports Podcast. Hey, man, y'all got to tune into Unspoken Sports Podcast. Go turn into that and subscribe to that. All right. All right. What's good? Horizontal Earth. Flat Earth. So if it's that flat Earth. Huh? Horizontal Earth, what up with you? Seattle's in the building. Unspoken Sports want to make sure that you get that rainy Seattle, Washington up in there. What up? DC Carson Music. Yeah, DC, what up with you? Hope all is well. Hey, man, pull up at me. Pull up on me. Y'all know when I have these morning shows, I don't want to talk on here too long. Pull up on your boy. You know what I'm saying? I wish like a radio station. You feel me? Like you're driving, you're having your morning walk or your morning run, and you get to listen to me, man, on the radio. Like I said, I used to be a radio DJ. That's why I got this, Liberian American voice. What up, people? I hope you're doing well. I am here to help you have a great morning. You see that radio voice here? I wish my face was, sound just as good. But anyways, let's go. We ain't going to worry about none of that. Let me go ahead and make sure I get my invites going. I'm out of breath. Oh, boy. I got to work out, man. I'm telling you. Lord, I talk faster than I run out of breath. Man, God's been telling me, hey, man, you better work out. If you want me to get you to where I'm taking you, you better start working out. So, all right, let me get all of these things taken care of. Okay, let's go. Who else is in the building? Fadoma, what up with you? What up, Fadoma? Is it Fadoma? KMS? KMS, what it do? What it do? All right. What in the 9 a.m. is going Hey, it's 9 a.m. where you at, KMS? It is 10:07 in New York, baby. Shadeur killed it at OTA day one, as we've been saying. Okay, Fadoma D's ready to get it in. We got to start with this. What's the name? Hey, look. So look, I got to take that stuff off my screen. So write down the email. You don't have to call in today. You don't have to email me today. You can email me at a different time. You feel me? Anytime you're ready to email me, email me. But write down, because I got to take that off the screen. That is a screen overlay. I want to definitely take that off. Let's get the show moving. I got a pretty good show for y'all, man. Yesterday we had a great show. All right, we had like over 2,000 people watching. And one thing I got to tell you, this is the secret. If you see that little number, that little eyeball, that number does not represent who's actually watching. There's a lot of people that watch me, sneakily watch me, you know what I'm saying, at work. So, they sneak their little ear pods in, and then they push audio only, and they're sitting there pretending to be working. So we got like 2,000 people, like over 3,000 people watch yesterday, okay? So don't let that number discourage you, because there's a lot of people watching, and they're not going to affect that number. But TLP, we in there, we growing, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for subscribing. For those new subscribers, salute to you. Let's get the show moving. I got my guy DC Carson Music is ready to go, man. I'm out of breath. Like I said, I need to work out. What's going on? There we go. Hey, DC Cars and Music. What up, my guy? Thank you for calling. I appreciate you, brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. How about you?
I'm good. We got a pretty good show today, and I know this is you. We've been missing Phil, right? Like Phil and his Doge job. Whew, Lord, man. These topic when the days that I talk about college football, he's not available, and I feel so bad for him. You see what I'm saying? I feel so bad because today I actually have a fun topic that it's not too much Colorado. It's like, are we losing college football? That's a fun topic. I feel like, dang, Phil need to be here for that topic. But unfortunately, my guy can't make it, so it's all good. He's working. Eric Jackson, what up? That's Eric Jackson, the 100. I'm just going to call him the 100 million lawsuit guy. Eric Jackson is in the chat. What up, my guy? Hey, Eric, if you want to pull up and just update us on anything, just holler at your boy. I'll bring you on, okay? Let's do it. Don't pull up yet, because when you pull up, you'll take over the show. So don't pull up yet. Pull up at a little later time, okay? But we have an hour. Let's go. Central Africa. Who's Central Africa? West Africa. Oh, you word? Okay. So Fadama is in Africa. That's what's up. Let me make sure I'm not missing no emails. Let me make sure I just pull up the email right now. Okay. I got a few people that want to join the show. DC, give me a second, okay, my guy?
Go ahead, brother.
I'll be right there. We about to start the show, honestly. All right, let's go. I really want to talk about. We talked about this Shadeur thing yesterday. I want to skip that and just go straight to the college thing, because I feel like it's a reminiscence of like your childhood when you were like watching college football. Like, what made college football? How did you fall in love, and why did you fall in love with college football? You know what? I'm teasing it. That's what we call in the business a tease. So stay tuned for the college football conversation, because that's gonna be hot. I can't wait for that. But before we do that, I gotta do this Shadeur rumor situation. Not Shadeur rumor. It's not a rumor for Shadeur. It's really a coaching issue. So let's. Okay, so I got this thing on a different screen. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. All right. Let me. You know what? I'm gonna have to pull the screen down. Let's go. Let's do this. That way. Okay. All right. So here we go.
Guys, on Friday.
Let's bring on the other panel members, and then we'll start. Hey, Common Sense Buff. What up, my guy? How you doing, my begin?
What's up, Biggie? My man, you better sit down. You get us a heart attack. It's too soon in the morning, Biggie.
Oh, man. When you get excited, man, you just be like, hey, man. Oh, man. Okay, so let's see. This screen, hold on, let me see. I don't know why this screen is doing this. Okay, so let's see. Let's try this now. Share. Oh, I don't know why my video is not showing, but let's see if we can. Can y'all hear the audio when I play it? Let me see.
Friday, Kevin Stefanski did his.
Loud
can y'all hear the audio?
Gotcha, loud and clear.
Okay. All right. I don't know why the video isn't showing. Let me stop sharing this screen. Give me 1 second. A little bit of technical difficulty here. I don't know why StreamYard is trying to play me. The check did clear. I promise you. The check did clear. Okay, so let's see. Let's share another way. Okay, so StreamYard is not doing it today. Okay, that's fine. We'll do the audio. We'll do the audio. StreamYard is having a little bit of difficulty. So we'll do the audio. And then we'll just do it like that. All right, so here we go. Oh, they heard me. Here we go. All right, this thing is queued up. Let's go.
Pre-OTA car wash with the Cleveland Browns partners, and that includes 92.3 The Fan and ESPN Radio. In the first interview,
Cleveland.
All right, we got to let the commercial roll, and then we'll get right back into it.
Yes, ESPN Cleveland.
Yeah.
My apologies. In his first interview with Ken and Lima on Friday, He was asked about the quarterback position, the quarterback battle, and he said, all 4 guys are going to have a chance to compete. All 4 guys, we're excited to see what they bring to camp. We're excited to see all 4 use the word or the number 4 multiple times. About 2 hours later, he was on ESPN Cleveland. And when asked the same question about the quarterback battle, he said, all 5 guys are going to have a chance to compete. All 5 guys are going to have a chance to show us what they can do. All 5 guys are going to have a chance to showcase their skill sets, and we'll pick the best out of the 5 quarterbacks that are on the roster. In the span of about 90 minutes,
The Browns are so dumb.
Kevin Stefanski went from clearly and on multiple occasions saying 4 quarterbacks to then saying 5 quarterbacks. Tyvis, I heard you laugh as I was repeating what Mr. Stefanski said, but why do you think he decided to change the number when asked about the quarterback position?
So we're just going to hear just one comment, and then we can take it from there because I know you guys are ready to dump on this. Let's go.
Between the first interview he did and the second interview about an hour later.
Well, because the first interview, he was not considering Deshaun Watson to be an option this season. So he was thinking of just the 4 healthy quarterbacks. And then when he got done with that, somebody said, we got 5 quarterbacks on the roster. And he said, oh, yeah, you're right. Deshaun is still on the roster. All right, 5 quarterbacks. That's what I think probably happened. The thing about it is I hate the coaches talk after a while. Like, everybody kind of knows what it is. So just be authentic, just say what it is. You only have 4 quarterbacks. Nobody's expecting Deshaun to come back this season and play at any point of this season. If he does, I need to know the medicine that he got to be able to heal himself that fast. But yeah, it's only 4 quarterbacks that anybody's really worried about.
All right, so we'll start with you, DC. What are your thoughts on this? Do you feel like my guy over here saying, man, look, coaches need to just give us the skinny without the convoluted jargon? Do you feel the same way? What are your thoughts on this situation, man?
Yeah, I know they're not going to do it, but I would rather, because even when he said 4, I was like, no, you got 5. I understand that, but knowing 1 ain't going to play. But I guess you have to do the coach speak stuff and toe the company line. But I'd rather you just tell me, hey, we got 4, but one of them is going to be sitting on the bench until, let's say, week 15 at the earliest.
Okay, so besides that, coaches, giving us the straight talk, we got 5 quarterbacks, my guy. We touched on it some last night, but now we have to say 5. Give me again your thoughts on 5 quarterbacks, please.
So the sobering thing, folks, is you only got so many reps. That's not, I mean, I don't know how many they have, but let's say you have 100, and rookies are going to need more. So you have a big mess because contractually they have to give something to Watson if he comes off of IR. So if he stays there, they got insurance policies on these folks when they have injuries. So that's advantageous to the Browns. It is not advantageous to the Browns for him to come back, but it is advantageous to Deshaun Watson. So it's a lot of drama in this QB room being played out.
Yo, what? All right, let me get your thought, common sense, and then I'm like, what? Do you even have enough snaps to? What is 1 snap a piece with 5 quarterbacks? You can't even get in a groove. It's just like basketball. If you put the guy on there for 1 minute and you're like, you're not hot. Like, how do I get hot in a minute? Anyway, your thought, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, so if I was Kevin Stefanski, I'll try to get myself out of this situation as quickly as possible by making some decisions about that quarterback room as quickly as possible. I mean, I don't think he wants to have the Cleveland Brown handlers, doing media coaching on him and him being distracted because every single word that he says is going to get picked apart in the media. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a football coach. He needs to be focused on coaching football. Whatever happened during the draft that exacerbated the issue they already have, well, they have to deal with it because they made some unwise decisions during the draft. They put themselves in this place. So the best thing that Kevin Stefanski can do instead of trying to watch his words is figure out who he's going to keep in that quarterback room so that this does not continue to be a narrative for him for the rest of the year. Otherwise, they're going to have even more problems, right? They already have a team that, nobody is given a real chance to win the division. So the last thing they really need is for the quarterback controversy to follow them all throughout the season. It's just going to make things worse.
KMS is making me laugh in the chat. He said, "Put Watson in the game, and the first game number 1, have the O-line back up. Good career over. Have the O-line not black for him. Career is over." Stop playing with me, KMS. You're a mess. All right, so the owner is involved. How much do y'all think the owner is involved in, like? Because when you get the owner involved, like, it's almost like you are a manager and you are being micromanaged. You talk about the coach making a quick decision, but the owner's guy is Shadeur. How do you make a quick decision when you got $50 million on Deshaun Watson? I don't know how much is left. It was 2 something, right? That was the number. But you got
Right.
I think 50 left on Deshaun Watson. You got Flacco and you got Pickett, and you brought in these 2 rookies. How much power does the head coach have to do what he's supposed to do, or what the common sense is suggesting?
He doesn't have absolute power. Owner, whoever's paying the paycheck, has the ultimate decision. I think he's got a problem because, yes, while he did pick Shadeur, you got an issue where Deshaun Watson is going to press you because he still has a contract that's guaranteed money. And then if you're not playing him and he's well able to play, that creates an issue because then that messes with his marketability. If you play him, then on the other end, you've got folks folks, I need you to listen to me. So I'm saying this so we don't have no issues.
This must be a Shadeur thing coming, because whenever
Yeah,
you
we can
start
sit back.
prefacing,
I got to because I mean, again, when you got John Elway and Tom Brady and Archie Manning from back in the day, and Michael Vick all combined into one. And I'm joking, but at the end of the day, is that, let's say, even if Shadeur is there, will he get enough reps to do that? So if he's great, of course you're gonna have people pushing him. But let's say, for example, he's not, quite at that QB1 speed just yet. Then the fans, it doesn't matter because the
hey
fans are
DC, I
gonna.
don't mean to cut you off, but let's clarify that a little bit.
Okay.
I think the fan base, the machete Bible toting fan base, don't understand what we mean by that. Let's clarify, and let me start you off.
Go ahead.
QB1 level does not mean he doesn't have the skill to play or the smarts to play. It's about the playbook. It's about the camaraderie, the synergy with the new team. It has nothing to do with his ability to play. Take it from there, DC, and then common sense and jumping on that.
That's absolutely true. Is that you're going to have a limited playbook until you get enough reps. Again, we're talking about reps in the preseason. If you are the franchise QB and you are number 1, like Cam Ward is going to get almost all the reps. But then, so you're fighting for position between, unfortunately, 4 people, and then you're going to be fighting for playing time for 5. So the thing is, even if Shadeur is lights out, or if he's not, the fans are still going to be demanding that he plays. So how do you navigate that? Because then that creates another thing where folks will say, well, wait a minute, why are you letting him play? Just because, folks are haters out there with Sanders. So they say, well, why are you letting him play? Why is Dylan not in there? So it's a horrible game. And then, of course, Pickett's going to be like, hey, this probably my last year to shine. So I got to ball out. So you have all this stuff where people have the corporate need, desire from the owner and the coach, and then each person has their individual motivation along with the just the media frenzy that's going on want it. They created a huge. If anybody could jack something up, they absolutely jack this up.
Try Trey Day or whatever that says Shermer's and Stefanski's offense is similar. That's not an issue. I don't know.
Similar and same is not the similar and same are not the same.
Right. So we get this very clear, and I'm coming to you, common sense. It's not about similarities, right? It's about the actual plays that he's running and the different variations of those plays that they're going to be calling. DC just said something. He kind of went over it real quick, but I thought I want common sense to dig a little deeper into that, and then I can give DC another chance to come back on that. But it's the limited playbook. You can only go as far as your knowledge can take you, right? You can only go as far as calling the plays that Shadeur Sanders is comfortable with. We're just talking hypothetical right now. If he's QB1, you can only call as many plays as he is comfortable with. Because what you don't want is him thinking out there, you call a play that he's not comfortable calling, that he's not comfortable with running, and then he's thinking and gets hurt, right? So your thoughts on that? If you can elaborate, common sense, if you want to go in there, or I can give it to DC if you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I feel like he has the ability, but what I've learned in life is sometimes you could get what you ask for a little bit too early, and life has a way of delaying certain things that you're not ready for, whether you like it or not. In my personal opinion, I think it would be. I don't think it would serve Shadeur and the Cleveland Browns to have him the starter in Week 1, because I do think he still needs to continue to learn, continue to progress, and fix
Common sense, you must be in a bad area. Your audio is breaking up. So common
Can
sense,
you hear me okay now?
Okay, yes. You just came back clear. But we're not hearing you if you're
So I don't
talking.
know, but basically I was saying in life.
Common sense, log off and log back on. Log off and log back on.
All right, we'll do.
All right, so DC, I'm coming to you so you can clarify what you were saying about a limited playbook, right? And before we do that, Trey Day is saying he's been coaching for. All right, so he said, bro, I've been coaching for 23 years. The offense is similar. 12 has had 6 OCs and has never had any issues. There's no hypothetical. I'm not doubting that the offense is similar. I don't think that's the issue here. But anyway, DC, go ahead. You take that first.
Yeah, put him in number 1 then. I mean, it's as simple as that, because that's we're having a subjective conversation. We're having an objective conversation, and that I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to ever disrespect anybody's experience. But I'm just sitting here saying is that, it's not to a point where we have not seen him take a snap in that in this organization with this personnel, with that line that he has, all that kind of stuff that he's coming in and having to gel with it, as well as learning the speed of the game. So even if you had it, the playbook from, cover to cover, there still is always, you as a coach know, there's still an adjustment to that game speed. So it's not saying that should do it. Here, folks, here's the thing. DC has zero problems with folks put Shadeur out there game 1, if that's best for him. It's not about what I want. It's about what's best for Shadeur and really what's best for the Browns. But is it right? But does he get enough reps in the preseason and in OTAs and in fall camp? Does he get enough reps? And from what we're hearing, he's not going to get enough reps to really get up to speed. If the odds are not in his favor for him to be up to QB1 speed by day 1. Now, I didn't say that's an absolute. I'm just saying it's going to take him a moment to get. It's going to take Dylan a moment. It's going to take it might take Pickett a moment to get up to speed, to get the whole playbook in. He just has had more experience seeing what it's like as they install an offense.
So let me add a little bit to that. I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. when we're being, objective, I don't think it's about us not wanting Shadeur to take the reps or to have the opportunity to play, or we're not even questioning his acumen or his mindset or whether his readiness. We're not doing that. We're just saying, hey, whether you think like they ran a similar system or not, I don't know if the systems change over time, or how do we know? If y'all are Browns fans, y'all let me know. Okay, because I'm not a Browns fan. I'm new here. I'm BWB, bandwagon Brown. All right. It sounds a little weird to a lot of people's ears, but trust me, you'll get used to it. Okay. But yeah, I don't know what type of system Stefanski is using that is similar to what Colorado ran. I don't know. I don't know that's the same. Okay. Or if it's not exactly the same, then whatever, let's just say, let's split the difference. Let's say if it's similar, then similarity means that there are going to be differences, and the differences is going to take him some time for him to work that out. How's that? We can split the difference, right? So whatever's the same, he's used to that. Whatever's not the same, whatever the percentage of that is, he needs time to get used to that. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to get into a battle of nuance, right?
Right, because I mean, you're sitting here saying is that okay, he ran a similar system, and I'm not taking it away, but I mean, you're still talking about game reps, and the reps are not just about the play; it's also about the personnel. So Shadeur's got to learn those folks in the locker room, and he's got to get their respect, which of course most of them are like him of what we hear. That's the thing that we're talking about, is that it's one thing I could sit back and read a book. Like I said, most folks know I was a military pilot. And sometimes you get an aircraft and you had to learn a huge book. So I knew stuff from what's called rote memory. That means I could spit back the information. But it took a moment for me to be able to know exactly what that thing could do and how to use it. And that's where he's learning that timing with Jerry Judy. He's learning the line, setting protections, all that kind of stuff, and looking at the speed, because you got sub 5 second 40 defensive ends coming at you. So but the thing is, so that's my concern. It's not that he's not proficient, is will he get enough reps to be able to be QB1? And it's okay if he doesn't. As long as he makes the team, that's the main thing, and does get playing time. That's goal number one. Being QB1 is icing on the cake. And the thing is, folks got to understand is that he's not going to be the franchise QB this year. They're not looking for him to be that. They can't even pay him that until they get Watson off the roster.
Right. So I think there are things that people are not really considering as we're having these conversations. There are going to be little variances or variations of the nuance that we're speaking about, but you have to understand the full thing, the capacity. There is money involved. There are contractual things that are involved, lawsuits that can come from Deshaun Watson's camp because you do have him under contract, lawsuits that can come from other people. And the last thing you want is to be entangled into some type of lawsuit battle while you're trying to prepare your team to play in this tough schedule that the Cleveland Brown has. So it ain't just as simple as, oh, we like Shadeur, let's throw him in there. There's a lot of different things that comes with this, and those are the things that we are discussing. Just keep in mind that we are Shadeur fans around here, guys. It can't just be like, you cannot be subjective at all. Like, who just said this? Like, somebody said, like, Shadeur can overcome all things. Just believe. Like, I get it. Like, I understand. Like, okay, I believe in God. Okay, that's where my belief system stops. Okay, I believe in God because God can do all things. Right? He can do all things. He's all knowing. He's all things. All right. Shadeur is not my God, so I can't. It's not like believe in Shadeur. I can believe God that Shadeur is. I can pray for him to do well, but you got to understand that when you go into a new situation, if you're a human being, it's going to take you time to grow. And that's okay for us to be able to at least talk about that, right? It's going to take him time to grow. I didn't say Shadeur can't overcome everything. Like, that'd be crazy for me to think like Shadeur can't do it. I believe here that Shadeur is capable of being QB number 1. What does that
So why?
entail? What does that common sense? You still here?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, good. So yeah, I just want to let you know, like, yo, come on, guys, like, it takes learning. If you are a human being, like, he's not God, right? So don't tell me to believe in Shadeur. I believe in God, and I can pray for Shadeur to learn at a faster speed than most people. So that's the thing. It's not like, oh, you don't believe in Shadeur that he can overcome anything. Yeah, of course he can. Anyways, your thoughts. What were you saying before you left, before your audio fell out? Or you just wanted to add to this?
Yeah, no, I was saying something along the same lines. I'm saying, like, in life, sometimes, you pray for something, but you're not really quite ready for it, right? So
Yeah.
oftentimes those things are delayed for your own protection. I think in football, as a rookie going into the NFL, I like what Atlanta did with Penix, right? They played the vet. The vet didn't play as well as it was expected, because Penix wasn't supposed to play at all in this past season, but they had to bring him in. I think if Shadeur finds himself in a situation where there's somebody else, and I'm not talking about Dylan Gabriel, right? Hopefully, in the QB competition, Shadeur is able to position himself as QB2 coming out of camp, but they go with a veteran to start. Because I think, just like, I mean, I started my job a year ago. It took me a year just to feel comfortable that I even know what I'm doing, right? It's a new industry, new job, new company. You got to learn a new culture. You got to learn everything about the job. It took me about a year to get more comfortable. Yes, it is possible. Other rookies have done it where they've come into the team, they've taken the starting position, but it doesn't always mean that that was what was best for that rookie's career. And I think that's what the Cleveland Browns need to be very, very careful with, that they don't end up sending Shadeur as another QB to the QB graveyard that is the Cleveland Browns. I think that's the biggest concern for me. Don't play him too early if he's not ready, just because you feel pressure either from the owner or from the fans. Now, you can't really say no to the owner. You can certainly say no to the fans.
For sure. So, okay, let me just clear it up. I believe in my kids. I believe in myself. I believe in my ability to be able to do something. I believe God is going to help me on that journey. So I don't believe in my ability to do it. I believe in God's ability to do it through me. But I do believe in myself, right? Like I can bet on myself. So I'm not saying I don't believe in Shadeur. I don't want to get too deep into that, just so that we don't get all religious and stuff. I'll preach on Sundays. If you want to come to church on Sunday, like I said, if you can catch me in church on Sunday, I preach on Sundays on TLP Sports Club. I'm just joking.
Well, let's look
Listen,
at
man,
it.
I couldn't even imagine you as a pastor. Talk about,
You don't want me to be a
oh
pastor,
my
bro.
God. Yeah, no, I mean, my
Yo,
Lord.
fire and brimstone. Hey, hey. Dude, I would cut everybody. I would bring a machete and be slapping people. My man, change right now, change.
I know you be like, you give your life to Christ right now.
You would do it right now, or we're not moving right now. We were not moving
right.
the play until you change your life right now, my man.
Exactly. Come out of him.
I do not have the temperament to be a pastor. Are you kidding me?
Neither do
Okay.
I. Neither do I. Because I'm one of them
Lord.
people because I'm like, my pastor used to joke about, I said, man, I couldn't do it. I said, because if I saw somebody sit in the same row, same place for 3-4 years and they do nothing, I'm like, go use somebody else air conditioner. Because if you doing it, you're going to have to put your hand to something. You can't just sit here. Go somewhere else, my man. If I,
When they said let's stand up and worship, you just standing there, you know, no
yeah.
emotion.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
just gonna stand there and just look? No, dude, you gotta go. Uh, but check this out, though. I'll give you a
DC, in the middle of your sermon, you'd be like, the Spirit of the Lord is leading me to talk to you right there, who've been sitting there for the last 3-4 years and ain't
That's right.
volunteered. That's gonna be DC.
That's right. Say you sitting up here sucking up my oxygen and farting on my pews. Get out of here.
There's a special grace for pastors, boy. I don't have that
Yes,
grace.
it is. But check
Oh
this
my
out. I will
God.
always say this is that I understand the angle, and we're having a football conversation that some people were saying, well, he's ready, it's ready. Let me tell you something. One of the most accurate QBs to ever play the game is Bryce Young. That played at Bama, got drafted by the Panthers, and struggled his first year horribly. So the thing is, the question was asked: is Cam Ward ready? A lot of times these rookies aren't ready. And Bernie Kosar, who's historic Browns quarterback, who was on the show talking about, he said it is best. Always best for the rookies to kind of sit and learn some things and not throw them out there. You know, if you are back there around, week 7, 8, you've seen enough stuff, week 6, then you can put them out there because they've learned the flow of the game, they learn the kind of stuff. And because I mean, anything when you're taking on, and CSB tell you that it's like sometimes when you're getting to stuff like that, something new, you're drinking out of a fire hose. Even though it's something you've done repetitively, you're still having to learn how that organization does stuff. So if he starts day one, that's fine. I just think that we in the CU community have to level set that our love for Shadeur cannot eclipse what's best for him. And
So
that and,
let me
and that go ahead.
let me add to that as well. Hey, common sense. Who was the Atlanta quarterback? The Falcons quarterback, guys.
That was Penix.
No, Penix is now, but who was the quarterback that he had to go under? He had to go learn under.
Still should be dropping it because I can't remember it right now.
So, can y'all put that in the comments if y'all can tell me who was the Atlanta quarterback? Because look, I think what we're asking for, since we're in church a little bit, I think it's fire, being baptized with the fire, right? Let's baptize him in the fire. So that means you throw him in there, and he's going to learn on the job. That's another avenue that we can discuss on the show. Do we throw him in there and let him learn on the job, and he'll eventually figure it out? The only problem with that is we have 5, right? So Stefanski has to decide right now if Shadeur's the guy. Like y'all said, he did well on day number 1. So let's say he repeats that and he is the guy. So we're gonna baptize him with fire. We're gonna throw him in there, and then he's gonna learn on the job. So, but is Cleveland ready with 5 quarterbacks to throw him out there? If you don't have the reps, it's a little hard to do that, right? Okay, so it was Kirk Cousins was the quarterback in Atlanta. All right, thank you, Keenan and Phil So Real. I appreciate that. So I want y'all to also remember that Kirk Cousins is not a bad quarterback. He's a dope quarterback. So when you sign Kirk Cousins and you give him that much money, and then you bring in another quarterback, that was a similar situation, but at least they only had 2. It's not like they had 5, right? So Penix had to, if let's just say we were Shadeur fans, and who do we compare Penix? Who do we compare Cousins to? Just to make it fair, who do we compare him to right now? I don't want to go to Jalen Hurts, right? I don't want to say let's throw Shadeur get drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles under Jalen Hurts. Are we ready to say, hey, Shadeur, play right now? We want him to be QB1? No, right? We will want him to learn under Jalen Hurts. That is the conversation that we're having. So if it doesn't make sense, just understand that even though Cam Ward is going to be QB1, he's getting all of the reps, it doesn't mean that he's ready. So just understand that he's going to be getting baptized with fire. He's going to be thrown in there, and he's going to learn on the job. He's going to make his mistakes. The only thing here is Shadeur does not have that luxury. He's number 4. Or if we back it all the way up, he's number 5. Shadeur is number 5. How do you find the reps for the 5th quarterback while you're getting ready for the NFL season? Because you're in practice. OTAs are going to be over. So maybe if what they're doing is giving the rookies, because OTAs are voluntary, so not all of the veterans don't have to show up. They can say, well, I'm doing some family business. I'm going to graduations because we are in graduation season now. I'm going to graduations and stuff like that. I'm having barbecues on the weekends. It's starting to get warm again. Y'all do your thing. I already know the playbook. Give the rookies the reps. Okay, if that happens, great. But you got 5. Keep in mind, you got 5. Where does the reps come from for the 5th quarterback on the roster?
But that's that question. Like, I know what the tendency is to look at it from a Shadeur centric point of view. But right off the bat, he has to decide who is initially going to get the reps. So he's probably going to split it and then adjust it, as time goes on. Somebody may be better. You have picked up something, and he's also trying to see what his rookie does. A lot of things are going on. Because again, you're having 90 something people show up, but that list is going to have to get cut down to 53. So the eyes are not just going to all be looked on Shadeur. It's going to be looked on. This roster is probably going to, because you can only have 53 by at the start of the season. So a lot of things are going on. So we have to take our I would say look at it as a 360 view of he's got to maximize his reps. Can he do that? Absolutely. But again, limited reps are limited reps. Yes. And folks, let's unpack this. You got to look at the draft. How many QBs got picked in the first? How many teams picked a QB in the first round? And how many of them picked a franchise QB? One, right? Cam Ward.
Right.
Because Jackson Dart didn't go to the beginning of the second round, correct?
Right.
So we got to kind of look at that thing. Is this conversation is not, and Harry B is one of the most balanced content creators out here. And I'm not saying that just because I'm trying to pump him up. I'm just saying it's the truth. Is he's giving you the information is that folks, they did not go after a franchise. The Browns had the second pick and they traded back. That tells you
Money.
everything. They could have had Travis. So to say, well, this is going to be franchise, that's not what they were looking for. It's not saying it can't happen, but that wasn't their plan. Their plan right now, and let's just look at it from right now for OTAs, Shadeur can come in there, compete, and you want him to compete. If he earns it, nobody can take anything away from him. But just saying, well, yeah, we drafted you in the 5th round, but you did so great in rookie camp. We're gonna make you number 1 right now. It don't work that
Exactly.
way. It
Exactly.
doesn't
And that's
work
for
that way.
Quay. That's for Quay Dunn. When you know, you can't stop this. He's not number 5. Coach said that's not doesn't matter anymore. We here to so just so you understand, like we're not saying. Remember, I explained it on another show. I said because he was drafted he was in the 5th round doesn't mean that we're thinking about his talent as 5th round talent. We know whatever everything that happens. We are fully aware of that. I'm not saying he's number 5 talent wise. I'm just saying in the scheme of how it worked out, he's number 5. If Deshaun Watson is healthy and he has to play, Shadeur Sanders is number 5. That is how it is on the Browns team. I'm not talking about his talent. I'm talking about how it is on the Browns team. He's number 5. You have the three veterans that are on the team, and then you draft Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. That makes him number 4. All right. And then Shadeur in the 5th round, that makes him number 5. That's how it works out in the NFL. So technically you have to give Dylan the rep before Shadeur. This is how the NFL works. You got to take your feelings out of it. And sometimes you just got to eat the data exactly how it's presented to you. The data that's being presented to us is how the NFL draft worked out. You don't supersede the 3rd round for the 5th rounder, unless, like what DC just said, he earned it. He played for it. But on paper, before anything happens, 3rd round is better than 5th round. 3rd round gets priority over 5th round. Common sense you want to add to that before we move on from this topic?
Yeah, I mean, those are all facts, right? That you guys are saying. I think what the counter argument to that is that Shadeur is gonna demonstrate that he is so good that it's all of this stuff that you guys are saying is not even gonna matter.
Great.
I think that's what people are countering. I don't think they're disagreeing per se.
Okay.
The reality that he is number 5 on the depth chart. But
Okay.
what they're saying is, if even with limited reps, he is going to be head and shoulders above everybody in that room. And I think that's the counter argument that people are maybe not quite tackling, that some of the what might come off as, the true believers, right? Shadeur can do anything. He's the greatest ever. It might sound like that when you're trying to be objective,
Okay.
but what I think they are wanting you to respond to is, what if he does, right, really demonstrate that he is head and shoulders above, and they have made a truly catastrophic error, and they have actually wronged Dylan Gabriel by even drafting him, because he's not even going to have a chance to play with Shadeur in that room, right? Why would you do that to Dylan Gabriel as your number three pick, just to turn around and pick Shadeur in the 5th round, and come to find out that Dylan Gabriel is not even going to smell the field? I think that's what the other side of the argument is. But I do have to jump. I'm going to listen, man. I got to go do some work, but I appreciate the show. Thank you, DC. Thank you, Harry.
Thanks for
Thank
adding
you.
that. So really what they're
Yes.
looking for is this right here. Okay, so if this is what y'all want, then we can do this right here. Okay, if this is what y'all want, I get it now. Thank you, Common Sense, for breaking that down, and I appreciate the fact that you broke that down. So yeah, I think, is it 2 shows ago when I was here and maybe a show ago or 3 videos? I've done 3 videos back to back telling you guys that I believe that Shadeur is ready to go. Throw him in there, baptize him with fire. Let him get the rest, because he is the better quarterback. So I have that position. All right. Now I'm just having an objective conversation, but I'm with you on that. I say he's ready. If you give him the reps, I think I'm kind of like broken record now saying this. All he needs is the reps. Shadeur, all he needs, give him the reps, he's ready. Now, DC can speak for himself, but I'm on record by saying, let's give Shadeur the ball and get everybody else out the way. That's how I feel here at TLP Sports Club. Shadeur's my guy. I believe he's ready on day number 1. Is he going to make mistakes? Yes, he's going to make mistakes, because everybody does. But can he fix those mistakes faster than anybody else? Yes, that is where I stand. Give Shadeur the QB1 reps, and he will grow faster, and he will take your team and win unwinnable games. That's where I stand. That's where I'm just saying. DC can speak for himself, and I'll let him speak on it.
I got no pushback. Only thing I would say is that if we're gonna apply that Shadeur, which I think, I don't have any pushback on what you said. I think that absolutely can happen. I think we're having a balanced conversation is that let that apply to all. If one person comes in there and just does a great job and puts him on a bench, we accept that. But I like the fact that they're starting it out, and there's, at least this is what they're verbalizing, that this will be an absolutely fair fight to see whoever wins the job. And that really is all you can ask. So if he goes in there and wins it, he does. If he doesn't go in there and win it, we have to accept that and let him keep fighting.
Yeah, so I mean, again, to have that other side of the conversation, just like my interview with Eric Jackson, to say, oh, what if it doesn't happen? Like, I have to be objective on the show. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of his career, just so we can put that out there. All right, me believing in his abilities and to win the job, the decision is not going to be ours. I know y'all want me to, trust in God and believe in God and all of that. I'm just saying the decision is not ours to make. I believe if they give him enough reps, he will win the job. That's just how I feel. And the words that are coming out from OTAs on day number 1, he lit it up. He did a very good job. So now we're just hoping that he he continues on that trajectory, and what I believe in will come true. Now, if it doesn't happen, right? The big if it doesn't happen, Shadeur, he will learn, because he learns fast. He will learn, and whatever caused him. Let me put it in another Shadeur way. Let me put it in this way. Okay, let me put it in this way so y'all can understand. Okay, if he doesn't win the job, I don't think it was because of his abilities. I would say if Shadeur does not win this job, I would say I would have it due to the mess that they have in Cleveland. This is how I personally feel. And if I was having a sports conversation and a barbershop talk like we're doing right now, I would say if he doesn't win the job, it's not because he wasn't the better quarterback. It's because of the politics and the bureaucratic thing that happened in the OTAs or happened with the organization. They have 5 quarterbacks, right? So somebody's job is on the line. Not just the quarterbacks, the GM and the coach's job is on the line. If they fumbled this, if they're butt fumble, their job is on the line. People are watching because you went and got 5 quarterbacks and now you have them in the building and you don't know what to do with them. And do you think the owner is going to fire himself? No, the owner ain't going to fire himself. That's his team. He owns it. Unlike black people owning stuff in America, the owner owns that team. I know that was a low jab, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, black people. But you got to start buying land, okay? You got to start buying some equity and some stuff. Stop laying around here trying to be employees and then cry when the employee tells you what they're going to do and what they ain't going to do. So start owning some stuff. Okay. DC, I'm sorry. I thought we were on the billionaires mindset. I'm so sorry. My brain just flipped for a second there. I thought we was on the other show. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, side note, you right though, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you have to own, like even which maybe one day we'll do that. Like people are saying, well, we should create our own league, and I sit back and say, you have the players. What's gonna get you is the TV. But that's for another discussion. That's
Yes, it
for
is.
another
Yes,
discussion.
it is. All right. We have some grown discussions around here.
Yeah.
Today's not that day, okay? We're going to stay on this line. But you have to understand that the owner owns the team and he decides what happens. Okay? But they're creating a big old mess that Shadeur has nothing to do about. So where I stand, if Shadeur does not win this QB job, I am willing to go out there, put myself out there and say it's not because of his talent. It's not because he did not do the job. It's because the people that do not want to get fired were saving their butts. That's just what it's going to break down to for me. So I'm already prepared to start fighting if he don't get it. I know y'all going, for DC and y'all, the rest of y'all going to come at me, but I don't care. I'm ready to tell you that Shadeur is already doing a great job. He's already performing to the best that he can perform. So I don't know what if you don't get the job. What were you looking for? You feel me? Like what are you looking for? Because you got 5 guys that are doing something similar. So what does Shadeur have to do? Maybe this is a question. What exactly does he have to do to win this job in that light?
He's got to be head and shoulders above everybody else. Because I know some people are saying, well, Flacco is trying to play this game. Flacco is not in there to be, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Master Jedi. He is in there to do it. Pickett is in there. They're all playing for their meal. They're all hyper competitive. So thinking they're all just going to be, oh, we're just friends and everybody. No.
Ain't
It's a
nobody friends
dog
over
eat
there.
dog world. If I'm showing up to NFL, I'm not sitting there saying, well, we got to make sure, I'm going to dap Shadeur up. But I'm like, no, I want you to lose because I want the job. That's how that works. This is a competition. This is not one of them things where you just sit back and say, let's just all hug it out. No, this is not the Girl or the Boy Scouts. It's the NFL, and that's not for long. So they're going to capitalize that. So I think what he has to do is every rep, like I've said this on another show, every rep's got to count. Even the reps when they're going film study, before, after practice, all that kind of stuff. If he goes in there and he just smokes everybody out, and there's no choice. Basically, you have to do it to a point where there's no doubt this person should start. If they're neck and neck, it's an inch. That's not good for him.
That is true. So at the end of the day, we're hoping that everything goes the way that it's supposed to go. I think Shadeur has already proven that to the quarterbacks to the people that are responsible. I think he's already proven to them what they need to see. But they have to stay the course. They have to continue doing what they're doing. But there's nothing. I don't know that there's much more he has to do, because you can tell if you are a football person and you are an analyzer of football like those coaches are. When a player, like, I don't know if some of y'all play football before in your life, but the coach on day number 2, they already know who the athletes are. They know who's him and who's not. You can't. I mean, it doesn't take long if you are an evaluator and you know football. It ain't gonna take long for you to be like, I need to see a little bit more. A couple of days throwing that ball, the way that they're thinking, the decision making, the way that their footwork is working, it only takes you a few days to figure that out. But the rest, I'm telling you right now, is going to come down to, who's trying to save their butt? Because the coaches already know. The GM is a whole nother story, and the owner is a whole nother story. So keep that in mind. While the coach know, and the coach is like, oh, he's talking to his wife and the people that are close to him, because he know you can't have every kind of conversation around the organization, because everything makes news. The second you say something around that organization, it's going to make news. I just wanted to stop and just say thank you, the new member, Keenan Ivory. Is that the real Keenan Ivory? Stop playing with me. Ivor. Okay, not Ivory. Ivor. I'm so sorry. I appreciate you, Keenan Ivor. Appreciate that. I said Keenan Ivory. Charge it to my Liberian accent. Okay. So yeah. So just keep in mind, like, the coach, no. DC, you can help me out with this if you know. But after day number 2, day number 3, the coach already knows who his guys are. Like, believe me or not, when I went to practice and I started, like, not this dad bod that's on me right now, these few pounds that's on me, not this, like the other side of me, and I was jumping around catching that ball with one hand and doing stuff. I didn't know anything about football. My first day, there was a coach that came to me and he was like, "What's your name?" And I told him who I was, and then he told the head coach, he was like, "Yo, look your kid," because I'm Mr. Superman. I'm flying all over the place, right? I didn't know the game of football, but my athleticism was showing. And he's like, "Yo," so the coaches know who's who after a couple of days. But what is he saying at home versus what is he saying in the organization to protect himself? And then he's going to have a conversation with the GM, and the GM has to protect his job. The GM wants to win, but he's the one that had to draft all of these people, and then against his own will, bring Shadeur in. So I just want you to think about all of the bureaucratic, the politics that's going on. It ain't just about the skill, because if it was just about the skill, the coach would just choose who he wants. Am I right? Or DC, you can back me up if you think.
You're right. I mean, and if you've led enough people or dealt with enough people over time, you will get to a point where you might not always be able to know who's him, but you certainly will
Yo,
be able
Phil,
to know who ain't him.
Phil's killing me in the chat, yo. He said, Phil said you were not him. You said I was talking about my athleticism in day number 1, okay?
He said you're
I
not
was just
him.
talking about I wasn't talking. I didn't have no knowledge of football. I was just showing that I can jump higher than some of the kids, and I was Cheetah, Mr. Cheetah. I can run faster than anybody in Montgomery County, Maryland. Okay, so of course you would say that you were not him. My football career didn't work because I had no idea what football was. Okay, stop playing with me, Phil. Anyways, go ahead, DC.
But yeah, you can kind of tell, you can pick up real easily who's not him. And then after a while, you're him. It's gonna come in. They're gonna take charge. They're gonna do what they got to do,
Right.
and what they say they're gonna back it up. You're gonna see in their work ethic. You're gonna see it in little detail, little nuances, and over time you will see it. So I think that we're stressing the point is that a lot of that Shadeur has a lot of
That was crazy, man. I don't know why is he in the chat trying to troll me, yo.
I know
He said you are not him. Stop playing.
that. Hey, I ain't gonna be- I know I was not here in football. I was a lot of, but now, but the thing is that he has Shadeur does have a lot of intangibles. He's got the tangibles. You can clearly see those things. So it's the capability. I would just push back on folks that just thinking this is automatic. I guess that would be my thing is to say it's because you still have other people competing, and I would say it's that probability is one thing, like for example me when it comes to stuff like this, and
Mhm.
again have the military background. I can have all the faith. Nope, I gotta see it. I'm Thomas. I gotta see you do it. Once you do it and you earn it, that's fine, but I'm not going to sit and that's generally how they're going to be in there. It's
Mhm.
that you can have all the potential to do it, but putting your potential into action, it don't always work that way. He's got the potential, there's no question. Folks could sit back and look at his how he's come up through the game. He's got it. It's just to a point of it's still a competition, and the other folks are not going to lay down. So that's kind of why I'm asking is that I don't have a problem saying Shadeur is great, but I'm also would sit back and say, you think the other folks are just gonna sit here and go, you know what?
So
Everybody says it.
Quay D's pushing back on you. He said, "Where is the competition at? Who's
Oh
the
no, come on
who?
now. Now
No,
come
no,
on
no,
now.
no. This is legit. So if since you're bringing it up, legitimately, let's have that conversation. Who is Shadeur's competition if we take out the veterans?
Okay. Well, then, if you take out the veterans, you only have two people, Dylan and Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is not going to, from what and I would say, how many folks watch Dylan Gabriel play? Because if you've only seen one or two games, you really don't know his game. At the end of the
Okay, so
day,
DC, I'm only pushing back for the sake of the show.
go
I ain't
ahead, go
saying
ahead,
you're
go
wrong or
ahead,
right. I'm just
go
pushing
ahead,
back for the sake of the people that are at work and they're chiming in the chat.
go
So
ahead.
you're telling us that you've seen Dylan Gabriel play enough, right? Even when they were both in college.
You went out.
Let me let my okay.
Go, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Nobody was really singing Dylan Gabriel's praises as much as they were singing Shadeur's praises. So now you're telling us in hindsight, go watch Dylan Gabriel. That's a competition, but most, and I would say, I'm not saying all of the news, but most of the news that's coming out, we're hearing Shadeur's name more so than Dylan Gabriel. Because remember now, if Dylan Gabriel is what you say he is, the separation should have begun in the rookie minicamp and now in the OTAs. ESPN, somebody would have leaked information to say Dylan Gabriel just wanting the job. But how is it this third round guy cannot
Hmm.
separate from this fifth round guy, but you keep singing his praises? So where are you seeing this competition at?
Well, I will sit here and
There you
say,
go. Take that, DC. Take
right.
that.
Let's go with it. So I'm not saying that Shadeur cannot beat Dylan. I'm also not saying that there are areas where Shadeur is better than Dylan because that is true. What I am sitting up here saying is when you watch how he has played, this is not going to be easy. That's what I'm saying. It's not no gimme. It's to a point where yeah, Shadeur. Because think about it, Harry B. When we were talking about the when we were talking about I mentioned it one time, but when we were talking about QB draft, I generally had what Cam Ward first, and I talked about Jackson Dart, and then I had Shadeur. I thought Shadeur is better than Dylan, but y'all gotta look at it. I mean, Dylan has faced great talent and won. Yes, I know he's got the people around him and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, is he can read defenses. He is solid. I'm not saying that he's going to beat Shadeur. I'm just saying it's not a gimme. That's at least my personal opinion from watching him play. Because you don't go into the SEC and into the Big Ten. I mean, yeah, and win. And then the other thing is that his offensive coordinator. I want y'all to look at this. Bo Nix was barely was the average quarterback at Auburn. He goes to he goes to Oregon and winds up becoming balls out. And that's exactly what, if you sit back and look at, just go
So
look.
you're
I'm
not
not
gonna
gonna
do
even.
no pause on that? No pause?
Well, okay, it is. It is
Yeah, I
pause.
mean you gotta
But what
pause
I'm
a little bit.
saying
Pause
is,
out like just like that, like
right,
Bo
right. I'm
Diddy.
not saying right.
Like his
Bo
balls are
Diddy.
swinging.
Yeah,
Like
pause, 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 pause for the pause, pause to the pause to the
I'm
pause.
just saying.
What I'm saying is, though,
Oh man.
I'm not saying that Shadeur will not beat him. I think he
But
will
here's
beat
what you're not doing. Okay, I think you're having a surface conversation, and I mean I'm deep in the ocean trying to, and I went deep, and you just kind of like on the surface. I said, make your case. Nobody. Okay, what you're saying is don't overlook him. We've overlooked him and went beyond him and said we're not even thinking about you no more. We already got this job. Flacco, he's 40 years old. Pickett is trying to trade. So we're not even thinking about. You're not making an argument for Dylan. You're just saying don't overlook him. We don't care about Dylan. We're overlooking him.
Okay, watch this. He had finished.
Show
He
me
finished.
something that he's done or people talking about him. And Phil, I don't know what
Beat
you're talking about
Ohio
the
State.
algorithm. This has nothing to do with algorithm. I'm just talking about the football people are saying Shadeur is this is my argument, my biggest argument. Number 3 should have had this big separation from number 5 already. If he didn't do that, this is his job to lose. This is not Shadeur's job. This is his job to lose. So if we're not hearing about this separation, he ain't like that, man. Go ahead, DC.
How you gonna have a huge separation when it's 7-on-7 in shorts and helmets? You could say people throw better.
No, because
You could certainly say that.
listen, DC. He's Big Ten. Look, listen to how you be talking. He's Big Ten. He's played in some big games.
Yes.
He beat Ohio State, the national
Yes.
champ. He's done
Yes.
all of this. Oh my God! Bada boom, bada
Yes.
bang. If you were Italian, bada boom, bada bang. You feel me?
Yes.
He's better than sliced bread. So
I didn't
why?
say he was better than sliced bread. I
Okay.
just said
I'm
that
throwing
he
that
ain't
in
gonna
for
fit it
show.
easy. Yes.
but the separation has to be there. There is no separation that's come out. So if he's number he was drafted in the 3rd round of the NFL draft.
You
Over
cooking
Shadeur,
yourself.
who was drafted number 5.
You
So the
cooking yourself.
separation gotta be there. You're not
You
proving this.
cooking yourself. You cooking yourself. Because remember what we
Prove
said.
it. Prove
If
I'm
the
cooking myself.
if the separation ain't there, then what does that say? It says that they're about the same, right?
So are you saying if I'm saying Shadeur is better and there's no separation, then Shadeur's not that much better? Are you trying to cook
If
me?
you can't say that
Are you trying to
there's no,
cook me on my own show?
you cooked yourself. You can't say there ain't no separation and then say one is better than the
But that's
other.
not the point I was making, though.
But that's the point you
I
made.
was trying to reverse cook myself. No. Don't reverse cook me. Please don't do this. That's the point I was making, DC, was if you're making the argument of draft being the draft order, 3rd round draft, right? And 5th round draft, it's like you have the burden of proof. You gotta create that separation. But Shadeur, we already know is good. I'm not saying Shadeur, I'm not saying, if Shadeur was drafted number 3, then you have to say, okay, so if you believed in him that much, that means you thought he was better than Shadeur. You waited till Shadeur dropped all the way to number 5 because you didn't believe in him, right? So your number 3 supposed to come in here and show that he's number 3. He's supposed to lean just like Georgia Tech is going to lean on Colorado. He's supposed to lean on these dudes and put them away in the 1st round, but he didn't. So that means he ain't no Mike Tyson. You get what I'm saying?
Well, that you just making my argument. I said it's not
I'm
going to
not
be
making your
easy.
argument. I just explain it again.
And what I'm saying is that I didn't say Shadeur won't win. I believe Shadeur absolutely can beat him. I think my thing with it is that I'm not ready to say. I put it like this: from what I saw, that last year, a couple of games, Shadeur could do some phenomenal things. Not a couple of games. There were some games, like for example, the UCF game and some stuff that Shadeur just did a phenomenal job. His ball placement, no did he? All kind of good stuff was just phenomenal. But then when I watched some of the stuff that Dylan did, he managed the game. You got to go back and so here's the thing: the reason why a lot of people didn't hear Dylan Gabriel because they were just looking for Shadeur content. But I don't just look at Shadeur content. So I know folks don't like what I'm saying, and they may feel that I'm just saying what Dylan's going to win. I've never said that. I'm not going to say that. What I'm sitting here saying, when I watch football, I watch football. I watch it. So I'm going to watch the Ducks play Oklahoma. I'm going to watch them play Ohio State. I watched them when he was at Oklahoma. So, and the kid has had some great OCs that have taught him the game. That doesn't take anything away from Shadeur. So what I'm saying is that when you are able to throw as many TDs as he's able to do, when you've had Will Stein as your OC, who is at Oregon, who's phenomenal, that did a great job with Bo Nix. When you look at the productivity that Dylan has, because we can say Shadeur won the United War, but Dylan was up there, was a Heisman finalist.
So now you're
And
making my point now.
what the point I'm saying is this: I'm not going to crown one over the other because I think they have different games, but it's all going to depend upon can they put it together, and it's going to depend upon what the coach wants. That's why I'm hesitant to crown someone, but I am saying it is not going to be to a point where, like right now, I hear people saying already Shadeur is better. As a football fan, folks, like I call it what I see. I don't see that at this point. I seen some better throws, but if I hadn't seen it from the start of practice to the end of practice, then I'm only getting selective data. So I can't say that one is better than the other. I can just say from what I've seen, Shador looks good. But I
Mm.
hadn't seen a whole lot of stuff that Dylan has done.
All right, so let's bring on Tim, and maybe he can help you, or maybe he can pour on, and then we can just, instead of just cooking you, we just burn you like burnt food. Tim, welcome back to the show. Welcome to the show. How you doing, brother? Thank you for coming to.
Hey, what's up,
DC's
guys?
cooked right now because he couldn't defend his positions. He tried to use me to reverse cook me or whatever. I don't know.
Mhm.
But your thoughts on this whole Shador thing. First, I want to know where you stand on who's winning the job, because I think that's the argument we're having right now. Right? The fans had to draw me into, my fandom, and they did this to me. Okay, so
Yeah.
now I'm all the way in. I'm all the way locked in. So just having that conversation, I, I believe that Shador is the better quarterback in that locker room. Give him the amount of reps that he needs, he'll win the job. And I think he's better because the burden of proof was on Dylan Gabriel. DC just made an argument about the type of OC that he had, the type of O line that he had. So, and being in the Big Ten and having better resources,
Mhm.
if you have all of that, and then on top of that, you played 6 years of college football, so you had different opportunity to be on better teams than Shador and his path. How is it that you can separate yourself much wider than what is coming out of these camps?
I don't think is I agree with what DC is saying. Everything
Oh man,
DC
you
is saying,
oh man, this is two on
I
one. This is 2v1.
I agree with him. And
Dang, where is Panda
I
when you need
mean
him? I need Panda right now.
the se- the separation part, like that, that's a broad question, because it's like, how much separation do I need to beat you? No different than a wide receiver and a DB. I don't need that much separation to separate from you to win that rep. So if you look at, there's I haven't heard y'all talk about it on the show yet, but there's so many different variables that's going to count as a rep. Yes, what we seeing Shador do in the media, we're not actually there on the field to observe it for ourselves. So what they put out there in the atmosphere for everybody to look at, that's icing on the cake. But we don't know how the cake is put together. It could be a sinkhole in the middle.
You still there, Tim?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hopefully he'll come back on.
Uh,
Uh, Go
Can
ahead.
you hear me?
Yeah, we
yeah,
got
we
you.
can hear you now. It went black.
Okay, so y'all keep talking because I'm trying to work on my camera. My camera went off.
Oh, okay. But I was saying, it's the variables that I'm looking at is one, Shadeur could be outperforming Dylan on the field in ball placement. Dylan can be outperforming Shadeur on quick decision.
DC, are you there?
I am.
So that's Tim's audio that just went.
Yeah, it just went out.
You can pick up the conversation. We'll get him we'll get him back in a second.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, for example, folks, if like this, let's just go ahead and deal with the subjective aspect of it. If one wants to say, I feel from what I've seen with Shadeur that he's the best
Hear
quarterback
me?
in the room. Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You want to
Go
finish?
ahead, DC.
Oh, okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna finish up with saying like the head coach said that they're going to get reps on the field. They're going to be reps with in the classroom is going to count as reps. Virtual reality is going to count as reps. So there's so many different variables that's going to be accounted for to determine who will be the starting quarterback out of the five. But I agree with a lot of things that DC is saying, though.
Well, so I mean, I get it. I understand you're trying to, you're on the football side of it, but I think there's the fan base that wants you to kind of explain how they're feeling, and to confirm their whatever bias that they have. So I get that part of it. I just want everybody to know that I'm running a show and I have to be objective sometimes. It's almost like, hey man, know my position and understand when I'm trying to be objective. So I don't have to keep reminding you that I'm a Shadeur fan. Like, I don't have to keep doing that. Okay, I'm a Shadeur fan, but to have a productive football conversation, you have to be objective. So the facts stand in front of you, and the facts are Shadeur's number 5 in the organization, and Dylan Gabriel still has a viable chance to win this job. So I have to ask the question, if he wins the job, where are y'all at? Right? But don't come back on the show, and if he wins the job, don't come back and be like, see, we told you. Then that's disingenuous. And I just wanted to say, Kevin Ivor, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the love that you're showing financially on the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But so yeah, I mean, I just want people to understand there's going to be multiple conversations going on. Yes, this is a fan. I'm a fan of Shadeur, and this channel supports Shadeur and it supports the Colorado Buffs. But I'm trying to build a media company here. I'm not just I didn't build a fan channel so that we can come and be like, kumbaya. I mean, it'll just be us. All right. I would just be happy with where I'm at, and we can come on here and just kick it every now and then. That's not enough for me. Not for business. Okay. It's not enough for business. So I have to expand the conversation so people can feel like, hey, I can actually go to TLP Sports Club and have a football conversation, as opposed to, pom-pom shaking for Colorado and Shadeur. Just not a pom-pom shaking for Colorado and Shadeur. I have to be objective. So the question, so now let me put this back up. Do we agree? Do we agree that we have exhausted that? We can move on. Can we move on? Can we move on for now? All right.
Let's move. Yes, we can move on. Good
All right. Thank
God.
you. So, do y'all remember? All right. And if I lose the Colorado, the Shadeur people, I get it. I understand. But so now we're about to go into this little nostalgic conversation about college football. Here's the question. When did you fall in love with college football? What made you fall in love with college football? And are we losing what you fell in love with? Let's start the conversation with Drake Toll and Kevin Borba. Drake Toll is Big 12. He's locked on Big 12. Kevin Borba is locked on the Buffs. So let's listen to this conversation. And then the second conversation we're going to end with, which I have to end real soon, is Coach Prime leaving the Big 12? Is Coach Prime leaving Colorado to go to the SEC? We'll end with that.
And his most yeah, I do. But also, I think it's kind of, you almost sound removed as you say that when you consider that Oregon plays Rutgers in a conference game. Like, ruined is a strong word, sure, but I don't like what we're doing. I don't like that that's a thing, and I don't feel like I should be shamed by anybody for feeling that way. This is the first time, based on really Cody Campbell's vernacular, that I feel like we might be trending in the right direction because the NCAA has been, at the very least, complacent in allowing college football to become Oregon, Rutgers, a noon conference game.
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana.
Yeah, I don't love this is what you signed up for. I don't love the culture. Like, I think people can have opinions and still enjoy something, right? Like, I like the NFL. I don't love how much like they shove the Kansas City Chiefs down my throat, but am I going to be like, I'm so anti-NFL right now because I hate Taylor Swift or whatever? Like, no, I don't care, right? Sure. The same thing with college football. Like, you could like the sport. You could be excited for whatever game on Saturday, but you don't have to like that the Pac-12, my former employer, is no longer. You don't have to like that. I mean, the Nico Imiova's situation, excuse me, I just butchered his name, but Nico situation, you don't have to like that, right? Where he's threatening to sit out a playoff game, a literal playoff game, not just like a random game in the season, not that that'd be any better, but a playoff game for more money. And then he tries to force his way to a bigger school for more money. And like, you don't have to like that aspect, right? I think the fair comparison is the NFL. And it's just be like, imagine if your favorite NFL team was about to play for a Super Bowl and one of your best players or your quarterback was just like, you know what? I think I'm going to go.
So here's the conversation that they're having. The Big 12 is leaving the NCAA, the NCAA, following the SEC, Big 10, and they're having this conversation about the fact that the NCAA, give me a second, Phil. The NCAA is a body that used to govern the sport, but now we need to get rid of this NCAA because they're not doing a good job. Are they just complaining, or is there some argument here about college football, the purity of the sport, what you're used to seeing in college football? Tim, I want to start with you. What do you think about this whole getting rid of the NCAA so that college football can get back to a recognizable place?
I think they just whining. They're not going to be able to get rid of the NCAA, I don't think. I mean, they did open doors to so many different things, NIL, collectives. So right now it's just a big mess, in my opinion. But I think they just whining at the end of the day because they're not going to be able to get rid of the NCAA.
So you're taking the position that they're just whining. They're people love the sport, right? And it's changed. But before I chime in, I just want to say salute to Phil. Phil, why do you always do this to me? He said, man, use this $10 and save up for YouTube Premium. Why do you do that, man? Like, I want to like you, man. I want to like you, but you're always doing these things. I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings. Are you clowning my YouTube? That I have? What are you doing? Anyways, Phil, thank you so much for participating in the chat. I'm gonna snitch on you. Don't forget Elon Musk is African. All right, we have connections. All right, so I'm gonna just like you want to send me back, I can snitch on you and say you're not working. Anyway, I appreciate you, Phil. Thank you for being a part of the show, and thank you for your monetary contribution. So yeah, are they really DC? Are they really just whining, or are we losing the spirit of the sport?
Well, I think we're losing the spirit of the sport. But I will say this first about the NCAA. The NCAA makes a whole lot of money off that basketball tournament. They ain't going nowhere. Nobody wants to give up off no March Madness type of money because it's huge, you know. So no, they're not going anywhere. But yeah, football has changed and what they're trying to do. Uh, the reason that the fight between football and NCAA has been going on because the school's gonna have to own. They've been paying folks for decades. It's just it was getting tired of getting busted and stuff. So it's like, all right, hey, you keep shutting us down. This is keeping us from money. So if y'all notice, like when the SEC started blowing up and the Big Ten started, then the NAACP, not I'm sorry, NCAA.
NAACP, right?
I know NCAA
Oh my God.
started to go, hey, let's step outside the enforcement business. As long as they don't do nothing crazy, let's go and make this money. And that's what I think has happened. But unfortunately, it's become so big that it's just especially with these super conferences now, that it's taken away from the thing. And then you're right, you're taking natural rivalries and they're gone. Some of them are gone, and now you have these games that make no sense. Like, who wants to see Oregon and Rutgers? Nobody wants to see Oregon and Rutgers. And so that's why we're kind of trying to do this. If you'll notice, they're trying to do TV markets, but that still takes away from the regional aspect of the game. That's why everybody in the South, they love a SEC team, but they love the SEC as a whole.
So I mean, I get it from your college football guys. I understand, like, when you start losing the essence of whatever you grew up with, because they make another argument in this video. We're gonna come back to them in a second, but they make another argument about growing up with your favorite player when they were like, staying for at least 4 years and buying their jerseys. Now you can't really recognize players. Like Cam Ward, we was at Miami for 1 year. How do you buy the jerseys? So you're losing that. But what are you gaining that you can see? Because like you said, it ain't going nowhere. Like, no, this thing is only going to get worse. So what has to happen for this game for y'all to be able to recognize how do you please both parties, right? How do you please the purist? What is the best road forward for the purist to recognize the game that they love without you losing the game or without you losing the purist? How can you satisfy both parties?
My opinion on that is, I think Phil brought it up, or someone brought it up. I don't know if it was you, Harry, but or maybe DC. But if the NCAA doesn't get a handle on it, I think to please everybody and to make things fair across the board, with the transfer portal being in place, I think if the kids want to get paid like the NFL before they actually get to the NFL, then they need to sign contracts. Hey, you can't transfer for 2 years and you're only able to transfer one time. You put that in place, then now, kids are staying a lot longer. You brought up the issue about Cam Ward when he left Washington and went to Miami for 1 season and then to the NFL. The fan base didn't really get a chance to enjoy him, but only for one season. So I think bringing them contracts into play and making it where, okay, yeah, you want to transfer to this school, all right, you're going to be locked in at this school for 2 years. You know what I mean? You can leave and go to another school, but you're not going to be able to play for that team. You'll have to sit out a year.
But they kind of had that already, but it's like, okay.
But they don't have the contract in place, though.
Right. So who do you have to make happy here? Is it the purists or the new money and then the laissez-faire fan base that comes in with that new money, is that enough to save the sport? Because then that means that you're always going to be chasing the bag, and the bag is going to ruin the sport. You're going to lose the purist. Is it even possible to lose the purist in college football?
Go ahead with that, Tim. Then I'll chime in.
You can go, DC. I think Tim.
Okay. What I would say is that as a purist, I realized that my time of having what I was used to is going away. And I'm okay with that to a certain degree. What I'm not okay with is that, we're bringing in stuff to do. What I'm not okay is that when we can't just talk straight football. Like, I don't like that. I can't just sit back and say, hey, I like this person. I don't think this person is as good as that. And then folks will say that's hate. When it wasn't in the past, it was hate. It was just to a point that was just a natural barbershop conversation. It was a natural rivalry. I mean, y'all heard me say this a bunch of times as a Bama fan. And again, I've been in love with football ever since I saw, being from Alabama and seeing Bama play, been hooked. And so I've seen the Bear Bryants to when we went through the Mike era where we weren't doing well. I've seen the Gene Stallings or the 92 national championship. And then, of course, when Saban came in, of course, I was in love. And when Saban left, now it's kind of like we're trying to figure some stuff out. So I know football is not the same. I just wish that in the midst of the outside of the field and the money and the people changing, I wish they would tighten the portal windows up. And that I wish that as people are coming in and enjoying the aspect of it, and the whole thing with Prime coming in is phenomenal. Is that we can talk ball and it not be to a point where folks see it as something else, that this is part of the game where we talk crap and we give honest opinions.
So are you making this about Prime? Because I feel like if you are losing the essence of the game, then are you saying that the fan base that are coming in, they're kind of loose people who don't understand the game, and we're losing the essence of the conversations and the beauty of the barbershop talking football? Are you putting this on Prime, or what are you
I don't
saying?
put it. I don't put that on Prime, because Prime will tell you he likes the old school. He's very old school himself. I just think what's happening in the space, as you have people that are new to ball, and Prime certainly was a catalyst. That's one of the things that makes him a great addition to the game. Is because he brought in new eyeballs, and he's brought in just another perspective of coaching. Now, I won't disagree with the folks that say it's black coaches out there. We had something that we've never had before, was two black coaches played in the semifinal, and that was James Franklin and Coach Freeman, Marcus Freeman. That's phenomenal. That's something to be celebrated. So I do like that aspect of we have more inclusivity in football. I just think sometimes when you are dealing with people that are now, instead of just being in college football just because of football, and they're absolutely right to come in. We don't own football. It's just that if we're going to give together, I'm willing to give away some of the purists, but we also have to be to a point of we can have a conversation and it not be to a point where there's a sinister motive behind it.
Hey, can I touch on that real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think the purists, those are your A-track people.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day.
Yep.
So they're not willing to.
Hey, you gonna joke about me? My 8-track spinners. I got the spinners on there.
They don't want to switch to CDs.
Right. So like your A-track. You know what I mean? They're going to. The purist fans, they're going to root for Alabama. They're going to root for LSU. They're going to travel with Alabama. They're going to travel with Texas, University of Texas, wherever they go. They're not trying to root for any other team. If their player leave, they're not trying to root for that player because they didn't leave. They're going to talk about them like a dog. Us, our era, we're more CDs, right?
Yep.
So the time
we want to spin. We want to be spinning.
Exactly. So you know what I mean? We ain't using it. Well, we can't. I came up in the tape deck era, but what I'm saying is the CDs you can skip and stuff like that.
Yep.
To your.
Oh, that's a good analogy. You can
But-
actually skip the song. You don't have to keep fast forwarding and rewinding.
Yeah, you don't have to fast forward and rewind. So we are better. I think mentally we are better equipped to change with time than the purists are. So
Yeah.
we willing to, like, if Travis Hunter was to, well, I put to you like this: Dylan Edwards. He came one season, he left. We still follow him and see how he's panning out over at K-State, right?
Yeah.
So, but I like the fact that they're moving in this direction. I would just like for them to get a better grip on things as far as how many times you could transfer and get some contracts into place, because I'm going to root for LSU, win, lose, or draw. You know, I'm going to root against Alabama, win, lose, or draw. But what I'm saying is, to sum it all up, to land this plane, I'm glad they're going this way, because if the purists had their say so and everything, Alabama would still be getting all the top dogs. They will still be winning all the national championships, and every other university will still be complaining like they were when Nick Saban was there.
So DC, I'm just saying, my guy just did the ultimate analogy on TLP Sports Club by spinning you a disc and doing the rewind versus fast forward analogy. So y'all don't want to spin. So it's mostly like this is what he was. Let me shorten this so you can understand. Tim is making an argument about the game on the field. However that looks, it's about the organization, not necessarily the player. Like you want to buy you want to buy somebody's jersey and ride the team for however long that person was on the team. You see them grow up. Those days are gone, right? Tim don't mind his team players changing as long as we keep winning and we keep the team rolling. We can change players. You wanna chime in on that? Do you have a counter argument about the disc versus the CD being able to change the music if you want to change that?
Well, here's the thing. While we can talk about the 8-track and the record, we have to also remember the music ain't as good as when it was on the 8-track
Oh,
and on
come
the
on.
record. So yeah, you can have your little CD and you can have your little MP3 and you can do whatever you want to. Heck, you can have it implanted in your brain. But at the end of the day, we all know, because Prime was 8-track, right? Was he not? So I
Wait,
rest.
that's your argument?
So what I'm saying is this: is that, and Tim knows what I'm saying is that there was a love for the game, even though of course they was getting paid and there was women on college campus. That was how you recruited folks. Am I gonna get playing time? Am I gonna get money? Am I gonna get women? That's how they normally did it. Now it's everything and above and Mailbox and all that good stuff. Mailbag. But I'd say it's that what, but you even see, but here go the thing is, we even see like some of the players aren't as fundamentally sound as they used to be. So I understand that the purest days as it was is coming to a close, and I'm good with that. It's just that to a point, like, and I'm also to a point where we can see games like, I'm never going to an Alabama game again ever. That's way too much stuff that you got to do to go sit there, hot, cold, whatever it is. I might go to one that's a good one, but like Alabama Southern Miss, I'm never doing that again. So I think the purists of us have to be able to relinquish the football, but I also think it's that Tim needs to understand we still getting better players than you.
Uh-oh. Those are fighting.
Oh, wow.
He's ready to throw. They're ready to throw down. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you, but DC, they've been talking a lot of smack behind the scenes. They're thinking that Alabama about to take it this year. Okay, they're thinking they're feeling really good about Alabama this year. How do you feel about your team, Tim? How do you feel about LSU?
LSU gonna be solid. I mean, Durham. I'm looking for LSU and Alabama game. I'm eager to see that game because Durham, our running back, he was solid last year as a freshman. Um, He came from, well, he's from Louisiana, but he transferred. His dad brought him out here to Duncanville, which is a powerhouse. One of the powerhouses out here in Dallas, Fort Worth area, to play high school football where they won a national championship. But Alabama has the quarterback from Duncanville now, and the kid can really ball. But they were teammates in high school, so I'm looking forward to that game. But I mean, LSU, they got us last year, but we're gonna mop the floor with them this year.
Oh, hey, quick question. Just reminiscing on the buff that's on your team. Is Juwan Johnson still on your team, and is he ready to start playing more this year?
I'm thinking that we're gonna see more of him this year. He's still there though.
What is he playing? What is he suiting up for y'all? Or what is he playing? What position is he playing for y'all?
I'm not 100% sure where they're gonna play because I'm not 100%
Because
sure.
he was quarterback, but then he went to DB.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think he's gonna be the quarterback.
No. He's playing cornerback. He's playing DB.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see more of him on DB. Or they could implement some packages for him, but that's to be determined.
Oh, okay. Before I go to the Dion thing, DC, do you want to say anything about what Tim just said?
We'll just see you. That's
God.
that's what's up. That's straight regular old school football talk. We're gonna see you when we see you. It's all good.
Roll Tide.
Yo, that's hey. Whenever somebody say that, it sounds so scary. If you are a purist, it should send chills to your bone because if they're deep, like the deep teams don't talk much. You know how people say in a rap game, gangsters don't say too much. They don't talk. The real gangsters don't talk too much. They move in silence. To be afraid of a team and their fan base when they stop talking and they start saying stuff like, "All right, we'll see you when we see you." That's when you're like, "Oh no." Oh man, is it just me or I'm reminiscing too much? All right, let's go ahead. Is Coach Prime leaving Colorado? Like, where is this rumor coming from? Who is sharing this rumor? I don't know where these rumors are coming from. Coach Prime got a contract with Colorado. You know what? Listen to these guys, and then we'll come back and we'll have our conversation, and we'll be out of here. We're almost done, guys.
You get little increments of greatness in college football now. You don't get what a Vince Young was at Texas, where you watch this guy grow up and he becomes a star. Reggie Bush at USC becomes a star. You just don't have that. Coming up, Dion Sanders. Do we have that at the end of this year, or is he gone? This is a Locked On Big 12 Locked On Buffs crossover. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is exactly where I NBA.
Why he in his auntie bedroom doing why he in his auntie bedroom, man?
he's either at a hotel traveling to
that ain't no hotel. That's somebody. I think that he at his nana's house.
That could be a bed and breakfast, or what do they call those things? The new things now.
Nana.
That man at his nana's house.
That could be one of those. What is it called when you rent a house now? What's the name of that?
Bed and breakfast? Oh, that's old school. That's that A-track. You talking about Airbnb?
Airbnb. There you go. He said that's that A-track. Bed and breakfast is what started it all, and then it went to Airbnb. What is this guy talking about? Let's skip this. All right, here we go.
Kevin Borba of Locked On Buffs. Dion Sanders. We had this conversation at large last offseason about him being done at Colorado following his son and Travis Hunter leaving and everything flips and turns over. Is this a swan song? Is this his last season at Colorado just to prove that he can win or be a good coach or be a good leader without his son? Does he have something to prove this year that will allow him to exit to a bigger school or to the NFL and leave Colorado behind?
I think by him signing on to be one of the highest paid coaches in college football, I think that's a perfect sign that he's not leaving coaching, right? I don't say I was under the impression that he was going to leave because I never thought he was going to leave, but I figured if there was a time for him to depart coaching, it would have been when his sons left for the NFL. So he's still coaching, which I feel like is a respectable move, because he had said time and time again, like, I'm a grown man. I do my own things. Like, I'm not following my sons. They followed me. And then everyone's like, okay, we'll see, right? We'll see when a TV job offer comes your way or an NFL job offer comes your way. And it sounds like he did kick the tires on the NFL. At the same time, it may have also been sort of a move to get Colorado to make him the highest paid coach in the Big 12 and a top 5 highest paid coach in college football. So I think he returns to Colorado, right? I think regardless of what year it is, I think Dion Sanders is always going to want one thing, which is power at his program. He's going to want the ability to run his ship the way he wants, right? And I think everyone is like, he won't stay at Colorado forever because some SEC school is going to come knocking on the door eventually and being like, hey, come coach here. And everyone's just looking at the brand, right, of the SEC. They're not looking at how Dion Sanders operates. And Dion Sanders operates in a very unique way. I think if you're a non-Colorado program, you're probably like, I would never let that fly here. And it's not that he does anything bad. It's just he runs Colorado, right? He sells his own merchandise. He has, at any given time, there's like 3 documentary cameras there, right? Like, he's going to be on a Netflix show. He had an Amazon Prime show the past 2 years. His own son has a YouTube channel. Like, he does things his way. He builds his roster through the portal. And so I just don't think that going to a bigger school where the boosters and the school is going to want to be super involved in his decision-making is going to fly. And Colorado lets him do him. And until he gives them a reason not to let him do that, I feel like it's the perfect marriage.
Why?
All right, so let me get thoughts on this. What they're talking about, is this a situation where Coach Prime leaves, goes to the SEC? And I think I've kind of brought this up on the show before. Coach Prime wants to win and win in, like, big fashion. Can Coach Prime do that at Colorado? Like, I know that we like Colorado and we say, oh yeah, Colorado's going to beat Georgia Tech, which is not going to happen. Okay, let's just be frank. Colorado's not beating Georgia Tech. But can Coach Prime really win the way that he wants to win at Colorado? And if not, is he leaving to go to the SEC? DC, you want to take it first, or Tim, you want to take it first? Who wants it first?
Punt to Tim.
Tim.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, the
Okay.
argument is back again. The rumors are scrolling again. They're all over the place, and I'm like, they don't never say where the rumors are coming from. It's just the industry is talking, and these 2 guys that are here, they're industry guys. They are the ones that they have press badges, and they're on some of these Reddits and text groups that we're not privy to. That's why I listen to them, just so I can give some context. So when the rumors are there, when people are hearing things, we don't know where it's coming from, but they're out there. Coach Prime wants to win. Can he win in the Big 12, or do they have to go to the SEC? Does he have to go to the SEC to win?
I think the first part of your questioning, can he win in the Big 12? Yes. Because he's able to recruit guys from the SEC. So you don't necessarily have to go to the SEC to win. If I can recruit them from the SEC and bring them over to the Big 12, where the competition is not as
DC, you still here?
Did he just say when the competition is not ass?
where the crown is. Now, do I think I'm gonna take a page out of Phil's notebook for a second, and a Picasso painting, it looks weird, but it has a high value price on it. You really don't know what you're looking at, but it has a high value price. So with that being said, yes, Coach Prime is one of the highest paid coaches in college football. But there's some things that you tapped on yesterday's show with the media attention. Is it fading out? Okay. If we start to see more and more of that fade out, that media attention, do Coach Prime fade into the smoke? and because the NFL teams can pay out that 50-something million dollar contract with ease if they really want them. And if the
No,
Browns,
not going to the NFL. I'm talking about SEC.
I'm talking going to the NFL. I don't see Coach Prime going to the SEC.
Nah. Coach Prime's not going to the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can do a show on that, but I don't think Coach Prime going to. I think Coach Prime stays in college football, but I think to
for the
win,
sake, for the sake of the argument, if he was
yeah,
to leave and go to an SEC team,
yeah.
which I think the team that he would probably go to would be Texas A&M because they got the bag to pay his contract off ASAP.
No,
Texas,
but hold
ASAP.
up. Remember the thing about Texas A&M or the Texas teams, they have a crazy booster group that they're not willing to relinquish power, right? Because one thing that Kevin and them were explaining is that when you have a booster group like that, they're giving money to pretty much be like the boys club to say, I'm giving money so I have a say. You bring in a Coach Prime, he's sucking all of that out of there. He's doing it his way. He's bringing all the cameras. He's bringing everything, and you got to be out of the way. I don't think that works in Texas. I just want to, what I'm saying? I just want to make that clear. I don't see that working in Texas.
Lives in Texas, right?
No, yeah, he's a Texas guy. He's a Florida guy too. But I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about the money.
He's a chameleon too,
right?
He's a chameleon too.
When you say he's a chameleon, right? And he's able to adapt.
Correct. He's able to adapt.
Oh, that's a hard argument, man. I don't know. That's a hard argument there. DC, let me hear you. Let me hear what you got to say about. I don't know about the chameleon thing. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm like Omar.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, I think Coach Prime is more like a polar bear, which is it's gonna stay the same color no matter what's going on.
Man, I don't see him chameleon now. Yeah, that's a hard sell, Tim.
Now, here's the thing. Do I think that Coach Prime goes to the SEC? No. They're not going to, because I think he has a chance to win in Colorado.
Hey, hold up, DC. Hold up, DC. Do me one favor.
What's that?
Argue both sides. Give me if he went, and give me if he can't go.
Okay, I'll give you.
If he went, what team does he go to?
See, that's going to be a hard.
Most sense. Give me that argument, and then follow up with your other argument why it can't happen.
If there's only a few teams that will wind up taking Coach Prime.
Okay.
And so let me tell you what those teams are. I think he could go, but there's only a few that he can do. And Vanderbilt is one. But that's a hard school to win at.
Where is Vanderbilt?
It's in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
There's Arkansas. I think he could do that. I think that Mississippi State would absolutely take Coach Prime. There's no question about that, and let him do whatever he wants to do. Then I think that
because I mean Jackson is not too far from there, right?
Right, it's not too far from that. I think Missouri is on the cusp. I think that's on the line of they may take him, and I think they would, but it's right there. And then as far as the rest of them, Kentucky, I think Kentucky would take him. So there's a couple of schools in there. But beyond that, rest of them, no. Like you're not going to Auburn and go have a thing where the prime is in blue and orange and it's bigger than the word Auburn University. That is not happening at all. It's not happening at Bama. It's not going to happen Ole Miss or even Florida. So that's the thing. There's only this. So I named what about 5 schools that he probably could go to in the SEC that will welcome him, and one is right on the line. So for him going to those schools, it would definitely bring a huge big buzz and bring all those eyeballs over to one of those schools. And I could see that. I don't necessarily see that at Vandy, but I certainly could see Kentucky or Arkansas or something like that. The cons for it is that it's not so much for Prime, it's that the fans, y'all are not going to want to see the beatdowns you're going to get initially, because it's gonna take him a moment to recruit. Because understand this, it's that SEC recruits totally different. Prime can do some stuff that Prime does at Colorado, how he recruits in the portal. It's not gonna work in the SEC. It's just not, because one, most of your portal players, I expect that you got out the SEC, you're not going to be able to really get most of those as much as you got them now. You'll still get some, but not as much. And then the other thing is, Prime likes to do his own thing, and I can just see right now. I'm gonna use Auburn as an example. I mean, their trustees and boosters, they're not finna have it. Just not gonna have it.
So you got a situation where the brand is bigger than the organization, and some organizations are not willing to relinquish the power for his brand to supersede their brand, like it's doing at Colorado.
Right, and the other thing is, you 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 better at least go 9-3 in the SEC, right, Tim? At least that is your floor. That ain't your ceiling. Your bowl game, it ain't no going 6-6 will get you fired. Seven. So that's the thing, in that if the school puts the money for how
So your
that
audio just
Prime couldn't coach in the SEC.
hello?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. So yeah, something happened to your audio for a second there.
Yes, but that's pretty much it.
Okay. So I mean, I see the argument. First of all, at the end of the day, we have Prime just signed a new contract. Now, if you take his word at face value and you say, "Oh, Prime said this and Prime said that," if you take his words for face value, then you can say, "Well, yeah, he said that for Jackson State and he left." So, you can't really take his word for face value. But the type of guy that he is, if nothing changes in the environment as far as who Prime is and how he moves, then I say he stays at Colorado and continues to recruit. But can he move and go to the SEC? That's the part that I'm struggling with it, because I feel like Coach Prime wants to win and win in big fashion. Coach Prime wants to be on the national football conversation, not just the national media conversation, if that makes sense. Because he's already got the national media conversation. But I think now to get into the national football conversation, you have to win and you got to get into the playoffs. I don't see Coach Prime smelling the playoffs at Colorado. Maybe not anytime soon. So I know, Tim, you said something about him winning at Colorado and recruiting. I don't see them ever smelling the playoffs at Colorado.
It's gonna be hard.
Very hard. and my guy was like, with the big, I forget what Unspoken Sports podcast. I know you got this dream of Colorado beating Georgia Tech, but my guy, every single indicator of Colorado losing that game is just go watch. Okay, I may give you, maybe they lost some key players, that were instrumental in that Georgia game. But man, something about Georgia Tech, they know how to recruit. And I'm sure they have filled the holes that were left with those guys who left Georgia Tech. And bro, their quarterback is coming back. Bro, I can't see it. Your thoughts, hey, DC, your thoughts, go ahead and take that.
I don't see it. I would like to see something different. I just hope they make it a good game. I think they can, but no, right now, just being honest, I don't see Colorado winning that game.
Yeah. That's a tough one, bro. I don't see it at all. That's a tough one. I don't know. Again, we got too many new players, and maybe we're just not thinking about the players the way that we were thinking about them before. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see it happening. He's like, yo, unspoken is he's like, look, it's gonna happen. Yo, yo, name the players that you know. I don't know. Name the players outside of Jordan seeing. I don't see it. Oh, I'm trying to see it.
But see, the thing is that it's like last year. Here's the thing, folks. When you get people out of the portal, it takes you time to be able to get a unit that is cohesive. Like, for example, it
Mhm.
once in the military, if a unit is sourced, which basically means we're going to deploy you, they will lock you in. You can't move people out of that unit into it. You certainly can't move out your leadership to when you go to into you deploy because you've done all your training together and y'all know how to work as a unit. So when you saw that last year, like there was some struggles against North
Hey,
Dakota
hey,
State.
DC, keep going,
Go ahead.
okay? I'll be right back. Keep going.
Right. We saw there was a struggle against, the first couple of games, there was still some cobwebs in there. On around that third, fourth game, they were smoking. So that's the thing I would say is that it's not that Colorado can't be good, and it's not they're not going to be good. It's just to a point of when you have a lot of portal teams with a lot of turnover like Colorado has. I mean, who's the only person, like drop it in the chat, who's the only person from that starter from that line that's showing back up? It's Seaton, right? Cash is gone. Rest most of them are gone. Is that not correct? And then now, as I'm waiting on Harry to come back and stuff, looking in the chat, do I think y'all got two or three Travis Hunters? No, I do not think you have two or three Travis Hunters, but you might have one. I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking forward to see the team, but I think that having hope and faith in the team, I certainly do think there's nothing wrong with that, and you should have it. But I just don't see right now on paper because folks, we got to remember you lost. What is it? They said that Colorado lost 77% of its offensive production. That's a lot to lose. But I'm curious what y'all think. Y'all think it's gonna be a? Do you think it will be a better team because now because you don't have the stars, they will play more as a unit, or do you still think you have those superstars? It's just that they didn't have their time to shine.
Yeah, so yeah, man. I mean, I don't want to play the players, and I know that it's way too early to see, but boy, if we do projections based on the previous year's play and how Georgia Tech was really like battling teams and taking them to task, and then I look at Colorado from last year and how they could not beat any ranked teams. I don't know what strings I'm pulling to give them the win as an analyst. I don't know where to pull it from.
Well, here's a good question, and I want to know what the chat thinks. Who is a better QB? Because I'm going to use the Georgia Tech game against Georgia. Who is it, and how they battle back and forth? Who is a better QB, Caden Salter or Carson Beck?
Carson Beck is going to
No, I'm using that as a comparison because you saw like the game. Was Carson Beck playing that game? I don't think Carson Beck was. I think they had a backup. So scratch that. But I am curious. So that's the thing is that do you say that King? Let's scratch that question. Do you think that King at Georgia Tech, who is better, King at Georgia Tech or Salter? Which one is better? Because both of them can throw and run.
I will give it to King, and the reason why is because in big game situations against big competition, I think he has the experience and he would know how to navigate his way in that game, right? So he has the bigger game experience. So I would say I would give the I would lean to Salter. I mean, to not to Salter, but to King for that reason.
Okay. So, and I think, I'm sure you're going to do a show where you break down the position wise. And I think you're going to probably do your Big Ten tour pretty soon of
Oh,
ranking
my Big 12. Yeah, my Big
yeah,
12.
Big 12. I'm sorry, ranking that.
Yeah.
And then that kind of stuff will be good. But I think the team can, here's the thing. I think as team wise, they can be better It's just that you lost a lot of production, so I think you're gonna see a different game because they
Yeah.
had to play faster to win. They had to play faster to win. If they hadn't have played faster, some of them games they would have just ran out of time. But what you have in that is salt. Put it like this: let me ask this question, so I won't like it's a hater. It's who's the better passer, Shadeur or Salter?
What's the purpose of the question?
Well, last year you had to pass a lot.
Okay.
4,000 yards mean you were passing a whole lot. You really weren't running. I don't think so. You had to pass to win. If you are not able to have that explosive passing, which that's why I'm asking who is the better passer, then that means you lost some of your edge on that particular game. So now where are you gonna make that production up?
Look, Tony Jones, don't disappear when the season starts. Okay, you said Buffs are winning the Natty or Buffs are winning, Buffs are winning 10 games easy, bruh. Do not disappear on me. Please come back. Oh, let me calm down. Please make sure you come back. Okay, 10 games. The people that were saying all that stuff, they disappeared during the season. Okay, but
Shadeur is a better passer. We know that Shadeur is a better passer.
So
Hands down.
the I guess the argument is that if you don't have a Shadeur with a better passing, and we don't know what the run game is, then
Exactly.
right. So then if we don't have the pass and we ain't got the run game, then what path, like Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, what path do you see us winning? What is the winning path? Where do you get the win from? Who can you lean on? Or where are we going? How are we finding this winning? I'm telling you, Georgia Tech, I'm telling you, is a problem. I don't know what y'all are smoking on. Georgia Tech is a problem. There ain't nobody to be messing with. Like,
I'm gonna give you an example, Harry. So let's take the Colorado Georgia Tech game. I mean, not
let's take
Colorado.
Colorado and
I'm sorry.
Kansas.
Let's take the Colorado Kansas State game.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
take Colorado.
Let's
No,
take that one.
forget about Kansas State. Let's go to Kansas.
Oh, well, you don't want to have that because the QB at Kansas
Both
is
teams beat us in the run.
well, because the QB and well, see, that's what I'm saying is that if you're gonna have you're asking a dual threat quarterback to go up against a dual threat quarterback. I saw Salter. I saw some flash of greatness out of him. I don't want to take away from that, but at the end of the day, is
no, but the analysis has to come with the competition. You can be great in a specific space. Once you leave that specific space, then you become a what's the running back that got drafted high?
Ashton Genty.
Then you become an Ashton Genty in the playoffs. It's a different feeling. You can Ashton Genty can be way over there. We can be heaping praises. Oh, he's like Barry Sanders. He's like this, but he's playing over there. Bring him over here, right? We go bring that over here, okay? Once you bring him over here, you're like, oh shoot, he disappeared.
Right. So the question is asked: have you ever played football before? Yes. And then the other thing is that the defense.
Who ever played football before?
I think they was asking if either one of us has played football before, as well as.
That old age, like, come on, are we still doing
here's,
that?
Here's the thing: I done played. At the end of the day,
doing that? Don't even answer that question. Let's keep going.
Yeah. And the other thing, and the other thing being is to a point. I don't think the defense makes up for it. Your linebacker room is not what it was last year. You lost. So that's why I'm saying is if you're going against. So let me just use this and then I punt it back to you, Harry. It's that we
got to end the show anyway.
Right. Take the Colorado and Kansas State game. If you didn't have the passing ability of Shadeur, it would have never been close. Nowhere near it. It's that you had the passer that could get you down the field that was accurate. Salter is not as accurate as Shadeur. Now he's got some wheels on him as far as being able to extend the play and actually run. He has that going for him. But you don't want to get into it. You want to talk about like playing football. You don't want to get into a point where you're now equaling out on the time of possession game, and somebody else is better. A bet like for example that you got. We all saw how Avery was able to run, and then that running back. You're gonna come up against a Della Edwards that got speed and that shifty. So the thing is, you can have different strengths this year, but you also gonna be going up to teams that have some similar strengths, but they've been together a little longer than you. That's all I'm saying. It's not that Colorado can't. It's just to a point where we can't depend upon Shadeur and Travis to pull us out and Jimmy Horn to pull us out of jams like we could last year. And you
Yeah.
don't have the linebackers to stop folks.
I mean, there were times last year where the defense was like the bright shining light on that team. When the offense just couldn't find it, the defense would stop them and be like, "Give him another chance. Give him another chance. Give him another
That's
chance."
true. That's true.
And if the defense is not playing, complementary football, or at least being the better half of the offense, is the offense going to be better and the defense is not going to be able to give them the ball back? But then what happens when their defense starts to lean on you? And that has nothing to do with whether I know whether I played football before. The question is, can they play football? That has nothing to do with me. Yeah, I can analyze the game. I can tell you what's happening in that game, right? And what I'm looking at, but me playing football has nothing to do with that. What I'm talking about is, are they able to put it together to where in the first half or the first quarter you will see, all right, they come out there looking like Kalen Sutter's doing his thing, and then all of a sudden they start leaning on you. Whew. It's that when they start leaning on you part that just starts feeling like, oh Lord, what are we doing here? All right, DC, let's get up out of here. We've taken enough time.
Yes.
Let me go. We got to save some for next time. So in the end, I don't think Coach Prime is going anywhere. I think he's locked in with the Buffs. My only takeaway is like the energy is not there anymore as far as from the fan base perspective. But I think if Colorado can pull some quality wins together, they can gain some respect, and football can start talking about them as, hey, you got to look at Colorado. So is that have teams do that? I don't think they do. So I think this is going to be a fallback year for Colorado.
I think they get. I think they. Here's the thing. I think they got potential in that room. If they maximize it, then can see what they can do. Some of the predictions out there. I'm not gonna go as far as 10, but I do think that they can do some great things. And again, we talk ever since we've been talking. You and I've been talking football. I know we're closing out. It's that some of the stuff you don't have to be great. Just be serviceable. And I do think they have some pieces that definitely are serviceable.
They have serviceable pieces. But then we got to come back to do they have the coaching staff to pull out 100% of that service? That's where everything gets quiet.
I don't have nothing to say.
Why you just gonna quit on me like so you don't think they have Marshall Faulk? You don't think that's enough?
I thought we was ending the show.
We're gonna get in trouble. We better end now. We better cut the video. Oh, we're gonna get in trouble.
Yes. Colorado, but all jokes aside, Colorado, y'all will be fine. We'll just look forward to a great year. And after that first game, while I'm joking, I need to see that first game, and then I'll be able to say a little more. But looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tell you, if Colorado beats Georgia Tech, it's a wrap, bro. I'm just telling you. If Colorado beats Georgia Tech, that's game number 1 on your screen. If Colorado beats Georgia Tech, they're going to win the Big 12. And we may see Colorado in the playoffs if they beat Georgia Tech, because then who stands in their way? It ain't Arizona. It ain't Utah. Maybe TCU, Iowa State, maybe. Virginia Tech, maybe. I'm glad I don't see Texas Tech on here, because Texas Tech is going to be a problem in the Big 12 this year. So if Colorado gets past Georgia Tech, they own it. I'm just trying to tell you, like, if I see quality football going on in Georgia Tech, let me warm it up just a little bit. If Colorado plays good against Georgia Tech but comes away with the L, but the score is close, and I see with my own little eyes that they're a good football team, then they still own it. Because then I'm going to be able to tell you, like, oh, okay, yeah, this team is about that. And the Big 12 is wide open. That's the beauty about the Big 12, is wide open, because they don't get into Big 12 play until game number 3. Game number 3 is Houston. So they get a great opportunity to just be like, to run the board. So there's some questions we still got, but DC, final thoughts. Let's go. Your turn.
Hey, looking forward to a good season, man. We almost are there. I'm looking forward to seeing what Colorado does. The post Shadeur and Travis era, and it should be fun. And regardless of, I think a close game and a win is a win for Colorado. That's it.
Oh, don't start the show all over again. I'm saying Texas Tech will be a problem, and they're doing the same thing CU is. They're not. Texas Tech money is not CU don't have Texas Tech money. They're not doing the same thing. And once again, I'm telling y'all something. Once again, I'm telling you stuff. I don't know when I'm going to get my street cred card. Okay, I think it's either gold or black. At a certain point, I got to get that card, and y'all got to just put it on my channel, and y'all say, yeah, you got to listen to Harry B. Preseason. He be giving us the tea, but we be trying to drink coffee. I'm trying to tell you, Texas Tech is not doing what Colorado is doing. All right? Colorado is recruiting, but Texas Tech, look at people's boards. Start looking at these boards, and you will see where Texas Tech is and where Colorado is. Then CU does not have Texas money. Not Texas Tech money. They don't. All right? And I'm hearing a lot of things about Texas Tech. And this year is going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. CU's not going to be bad. I need to see it. I don't. Anyway, DC, let's go. All right, it's hard, but boy, it's going to be a long season. I'm just going to let you know now. I got videos coming, though. Right now, I've been kind of busy with the professional, the NFL. But I got some college stuff coming. I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to lay it all out like I always do. All right? I've been doing it for 2 seasons now, where I break down all of this stuff for y'all. I tell you which players, I like those videos when I tell you these are the key players on each team. You got to watch those videos so you can see, how these teams are being broken down. And then I got I got another video coming where you see every team in the Big 12 and what their biggest opponent is going to be. So you got to watch that video as well. All right, DC, thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
See ya.
All right.
Peace.
So, all right. So Unspoken Sports Podcast says whenever my next live is, he'll call in. So we'll get a new panel member, and that'll be a great thing. All right, man. Y'all take care. I'll see y'all on the next live. Peace out.